Hello, and thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the COLA, that's the cost of living increase that's happening for 2023. Now, there's been a lot of information out there, and I'm just going to shed a little light on how it works, how the VA pays, when they pay, why they pay, the effective date versus the pay date, all that type of stuff, and give you the new pay rates, at least based on one single factor. So if that's something you're looking forward to understanding a little more about and understanding how the VA works with regard to payments, please hit the like button, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I appreciate it. All right, so VA COLA, the cost of living adjustment that's happening, which everybody knows about, the largest in 40 years or what have you, 8.7%, a gigantic increase for us all, which is fantastic. And what happens is that with the inflation numbers, essentially the VA mirrors what Social Security's COLA is, and that's been traditionally the way they've done it. So Social Security decides what their increase will be, VA mirrors it, and we move forward. So now, what you're going to notice, and if you've ever printed out one of your award letters, your benefits letters, typically from eBenefits or va.gov, and you click letters and you could print it out, and it tells you, what your 50%, 70%, 100%. Rated veteran, and this is your dollar amount, and your effective date is December 1st. And so every year that effective date changes, and that effective date is based on the payments that are being paid to you, not your rating, right? So your effective date for the purposes of those letters that indicate your income are basically saying this new income amount is based on an effective date of December 1st of whatever year you printed out that letter. So it's no different this time around. This time around, you're going to see your effective date on your new letters that you can print out as December 1st. But you're not paid on December 1st, right? Here we are. It's November 28th, I believe, if I can remember right. And you may have already gotten your VA payment. I got mine early, and the reason why I get it early is because I'm with a credit union. So what you'll see is banks versus credit unions. Typically, your credit unions will release the funds a day or two earlier than your banking system, your federal banking system, where they are for-profit, and because they're for-profit, they'll hold on to that money. The VA gives them the money. They hold on to it in an interest-bearing account for a couple days, and then they kick it over to you on the date that it was supposed to receive, or the date you're supposed to receive it. So now, here we are. We're going to roll past December 1st, past your effective date, and then what's going to happen is typically our payments are the first of the month. So the first of the month is when we typically get paid. Now, we're not paid for the month we're going into. So, for example, if you receive your payment December 1, that is not for December's payment. They're not paying you for December because you haven't lived all of December yet. You haven't been around for December yet. So they pay you in what we call arrears. So they pay you in the arrear. So they pay you December 1st, and then that is paying you basically for all of November. Then in January 1 would then pay you for all of December, creating that December 1st effective date. So your January payment is for your December month. Now, because it's January, we run into federal holidays. So anytime there's a federal holiday or a weekend involved, they will work backward, not pay you later, but pay you earlier. So in this case, it'll be on the Friday before. So that's when you're going to receive your payment with the new COLA amounts. Now, the new COLA amounts, again, are basically that 8.7% increase. And I just pulled up just the fast, easy numbers. And looking at the increase, the new increase with a child and a spouse, so just two dependents, right? So a spouse and a child. What you're looking at, for most of us, we understand, I would think, but if you're new to this, it's important to know, your 10 and 20% ratings, you're not including any sort of dependence. It's just a flat rate. So it's the same no matter what. So your 10% moving forward is going to be $165 per month at 10%. And that's just you as the veteran. There's no adding spouses or anything like that. Then it moves to $327. That $327 is at the 20% rating. And again, it's just a flat rate. There's no adding spouses or anything like that or dependents. Now, if you caught that nice little fast mustache roll. So the next one is 30%. So at 30%, that is a magical number. And if you're not aware, if you move into that 30% bracket and higher, you absolutely, if you have a spouse or children, you need to inform the VA that you want to add them as part of your compensation. And then what will happen will be, it will bump you up in your payments. So with a spouse and a child, moving from a 20% rating to a 30% rating would pay out $612 per month. Then moving to 40%, you're looking at $870 per month. 50% is $1,215. I'm just leaving the cents off because it's just easier. 60% is $1,528 per month. So that's pretty substantial. You're getting there. 70% is $1,907. 80%, $2,212. 90% will pay you $2,486 per month. And remember, all of these are tax-free dollar amounts. And you can see, on average, it's a couple $100 a month or so, $200, $300, $400 per 10% rating. For example, that 60% to the 70% is about almost $400 per month jump. But then 70 to 80 is about a $300 jump. And then about a $260 jump from 80 to 90%. So they're decent size jumps, but it's really substantial when you move from 90 to 100%. And that's why you see so many people trying to make it to that 100% mark, especially if they're already in the higher brackets. So again, 90% is $2,486 with a spouse and one child. At 100%, it'll be $3,971. Okay, that's almost $4,000 a month. That's huge. So, gigantic jump. It's about a $1,500 jump in payments between the 90% to 100%. An important note that everybody needs to know, because your VA compensation is not taxable, it doesn't show up anywhere. So when you need to use it for something like you're qualifying to buy a car or you're trying to buy a house, you need to supply typically your award letter that gives the dollar amount and maybe a couple months bank statements to show the direct deposits. Now here's the important piece. You or your lender should be what they call grossing up that income. So instead of being, say, $4,000 a month, it's going to turn into $5,000 a month because they're going to gross it up. Treat it like a grossable income at $5,000, because for a lot of qualification, when it comes to finance, they use your gross income, not your net. And this is effectively your net income. So when you're doing any sort of big purchase, make sure that they are grossing up your income. All right, with that, we'll go ahead and cut out. And thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.